Here, this is the visualization of hold.
I like it. You're holding. Please hold is what that says to me. All right. This is the first file, which is now saved. Sorry, talking myself through this. Drinking a soda.
First file. That's
all right.
1.
Here we go. This is it, everybody. Stand back and be prepared because it begins. Oh, that's volume check. Okay, we're good. In 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to There Will Be Dungeons. We're so excited to be here this week because if you know what happened last week, you're just as excited as us. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, oh, that's kind of a bummer. Go back and listen to the last 2 years straight and then come back here. Or whatever. If you're a glutton for weirdness, then maybe stick around and see what the hell happens today. We're very excited. So much happening. So much going on. We may as well recap it. So for those who are maybe new, get right up to speed. Because Kristen has a recap. Kristen?
Yes, I do. Last time on There Will Be Dungeons. The valiant never taste of death, but once. Our heroes dared to down Dolopopio. He gagged grubs that grabbed and gored. Varel ceased the situation, blocking the barrage by shutting the chute with his suit. Nash, drawing from his dragon, puffed out poison, slashed sinew, and jabbed with jaws. Stanley sought Syrah and stood strong, whacking away worms while offing the offending oblexes. Eddie, a dollop from Death's door, took to Stanley to take a taste of a healing hash. Health higher, he joined the joust. Chance, unfortunately unconscious, floated far. Hope, terrified but for a terse time, sank the slaying slug, relinquishing a reign of revulsion. Dolopopio dead, space sparse, and all came to in the cave. But now Stanley sat with Syrah and Eddie in the beaming beacon. Hope desperately drove to disperse the deterrent. Quizquaz, anticipating agony, shuffled in from the shadows. He knew the knobs, but someone had to stay. Someone had to sacrifice. The oily operator opened the obstruction. Eddie left. Syrah stood. Stanley stood. He looked down at the elf he had to extricate. He told her to take Varel's talon. The lizard would look to her livelihood. Syrah slipped out. Stanley sat, embracing his end, but Varel denied the demise. Maintaining the machine couldn't mangle many. Brave and bold, the group gathered as Eddie activated the apparatus. The crew clasped hand and claw, dissolving into dust. Now rejoin our heroes as the DM desperately deals with the developments delivered by a total party sacrifice. Are they dead? Are they alive? Will the new characters be as endearing? Stay tuned for today's adventure in the wide world of the Wastes?
Absolutely perfect punctuation. Bo, it's now your turn to tell us what the hell we're going to do.
Woo, 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 woo.
About 5 people will get that because of your rendition. It's fine, though. It's fine. I like it.
All right, so let's start.
All right.
Varel. In the moments leading up to the disintegration of your companions, light filled their bodies, causing them to glow. And then you witness them as they all, one by one, become dust with the laser light. And the laser light is so bright that you can't see anything outside of but the immediate area that you're in. And as the light intensifies, your eyes fill with white. The whiteness becomes so bright that you feel that you can't take it anymore, and then it explodes like the Big Bang. Stars fly infinitely in all directions all around, and you begin to feel like as if you were standing on a cliff with the water below you, and you just stood your back to the water in a T formation and just let yourself go and fall back. You feel this feeling of falling backwards into an ocean, except it doesn't end. You're constantly falling backwards as gravity pulls you back. And as it pulls you back, the stars spin around your eyes in this endless circle. And then This seems to stretch on into infinity. Time stretches to infinity. You've never known a time. As soon as you think that you will move your body, your body is again still pulled in this T formation back through the stars. And then something happens. You feel it as a slice down your spinal cord. And then you see your body float in front of you, flailing through this cosmos that you're in. The spinning still occurring, and your body, you see it float away into space as you begin lifting up into the starry void. You roll backwards, you continue rolling backwards into infinity. And each time you think you have a thought, you think, I'm having a thought. And that thought is in front of you, your eyes, as a series of electrons and electrical pulses that go, and you spin, and this happens infinitely. You lose all perception of time, but you don't feel in control. You still feel as though you're falling. And as you fall, stars go whizzing by. And you feel as though you're covering some sort of great distance, but you have no frame of reference because you're in space, and the farthest of stars don't appear to move at all. After a millennia of this feeling of falling, that you will fall forever, you feel your momentum begin to slow, like a ball hitting its apex and reaching the highest point of gravity. And as you reach this place, a planet falls into view. And as it gets closer and closer, you see that the planet has eyes too, and a large nose and mouth and beard, sort of wisping away in the void. It doesn't move, and as you get closer, you can't tell if this is a planet or if this is some sort of head. And then your trajectory slows somewhat, and you're just existing in space before this giant head of a humanoid. Closest resemblance is human, bearded, white hair. You can't tell. Everything is made of light. Color doesn't register the way it does as you've ever known it. You hang there for a minute. The minute extends longer. Has it been a minute? Time stretches. Has another minute gone by? Maybe it's been a year. Maybe it's been a lifetime. Maybe this is the afterlife. It's not what you expected. The face stares at you blankly. But it's not staring at you. Nothing about this planet moves. It seems so close and yet so far away. Its largesse filling your vision. You notice in the distance a black speck between you and the planet. It's spinning quickly. As there's no resistance in space, it just seems to be going. And it floats from the southern left side to the top right side in your field of vision before the planet. Just sort of spins. And as it spins, it appears to get caught in some sort of gravitational field that you must be emitting. Can you even emit a gravitational field? You don't know anything about gravity. This place is so foreign. It's like sparkly sand. The rock approaches closer to you. It's pure black. It spins next to you, and as it spins past you, you realize that in your mortal form, you would look forward, but you can actually see in 360 degrees all around, up and down, and you see it float behind you, and you see it float underneath you, and it spins back up around. You're stuck this way for maybe 10,000 years. You don't know. Maybe it is just a minute. But then you begin to feel something pull at your back. Do you want to do anything?
Is the planet still there?
It's still there, but it's beginning to grow smaller in size. At first you think it's a trick of your vision, but no, it's receding from your view.
I will attempt to address the object.
Mm-hmm.
Friend Spec, do you join me on this infinite journey?
Do you join me on this infinite journey? Do you join me on this infinite journey? Do you join me on this infinite journey? Do you join me on this infinite journey? Do you join me on this infinite journey? Your voice, you hear it, you recognize it, and you hear your voice come at you from all different directions. The best THX has ever had to offer in quality sound. The face doesn't move. It appears locked in place. Is it a dead thing? Has it been a minute? It grows smaller still, and you feel yourself being pulled away. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I am a radiant being.
I am a radiant being. I am a radiant being. I am a radiant being. And your voice echoes out again through the void. And as you say that with those words, you begin to feel that feeling as though you're falling, jumping back into the water from the cliff back first. And it pulls you harder this time. You feel like almost as if you're a fish and a hook has caught you by your thoughts. And it's pulling your thoughts intensely through this sea of stars and purple clouds and nebulas everywhere as you fall and fall and fall and fall, and eventually the stars turn into a funnel above you and below you where you can see like almost like a cyclone as it goes, and then your 360-degree vision, you can see your physical form again beneath you as it falls. Is it even falling? Maybe it's falling up. You can't tell, but wherever it's going, your thoughts are chasing your body, and the rock that was spinning around you is also, you can see it ahead of you, lapsing in speed but following behind, and then you fall. And eventually the world begins to heave, and material begins to form around you, and you get closer and closer into your body, and you're about to dive into your physical form as if you were diving into this ocean. And it feels like it takes a lifetime, but eventually you fall back, and it's as if your body is going to be a pillow for your thoughts. And you fall through space down into your body, and then space sort of turns like almost like a combination lock as reality begins forming around you. And then all of a sudden you feel gravity in your body again, and it weighs a ton. Your body is stapled to whatever it is it's lying in, which, as your eyes dart around, you seem to be in a pile of garbage, and around you is darkness, but in the faint glow of this room you're in, you see brown brick covered with green slime all around you, and you're in this pile of garbage, and there's water about an inch tall at your feet as you lie sort of in like a recliner or lazy boy in this pile of garbage, and your thoughts come to and your vision comes to, and you're wherever you are.
I will attempt to pull myself up, sitting.
Your body does not respond to your commands. You can feel your eyes move around, but you can't move your body. And as you make the attempt to move your body, you see the black rock fly from nowhere across space. You can make it out, and it hits you on the snout as it does. This thing might kill you. It does 2 points of damage.
8 points left.
It hits you in the snout, and then it falls in between your legs, sploosh, hitting the water. As you look down on it, you see it's this black shape of circles and ovals, dark black rock. You see a little gauge on it, and the gauge is kind of sort of sits in the yellow and then goes down to the green part of the gauge and then goes bloop and goes back to the yellow, goes down to the green, bloop, 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 bloop.
I will give in to the tiredness of my body and attempt to form some words.
Okay. So you let your body recover. Your body's in a state of revolt right now. It feels as though it's been stretched across the universe and molded back together, and your muscles feel the most fatigued they have ever felt in your lifetime. As you sit there and try to form words, one of the parts of this black rock has like what looks to be a small pipe with an open-ended opening, and a large pink snot bubble begins to push out of it, making a nice sphere outside the pipe. And then just as it looks like the snot bubble's about to burst, it begins filling with red pink liquid till it fills completely. And then a piece of flesh juts out from the bottom and the top side and sort of covers over it like an eyelid. It closes over, blinks very tightly, and when it opens up, there's an eyeball. Nash Magard of the Solar Mines. Your world after the light was black, but your eyes open again, and you are looking up at Varel from his crotch in a pile of garbage up at his face.
From his crotch?
Yes.
Okay.
So all you can see, your point of view, is that Varel is like reclining in a pile of garbage, and you are sitting in between like his knees, looking up at him.
Okay.
And Varel is looking down at you, trying to form words, saying nothing.
I would like to attempt to say something to him.
Okay.
I would say, I'd go, Pharrell. Pharrell.
You attempt to say something, but you make no sound.
And do I
You don't have a mouth.
Oh, I sense that I'm not making a sound either. I have no mouth?
You realize you don't have a mouth.
I will panic a little bit at that knowledge.
Uh-huh.
And I will reach up and grab my face and sort of claw at it and flail around a bit, trying to...
You reach up to grab your face and realize you have no hand.
I will now
Come to think of it, you have no face.
I will panic further now that I don't seem to have any of the things I had.
What would you like to do next?
Um, I'll try to contain myself and look around and see where I am. Try to make sense of where I'm at.
So, Varel, you see the eye flit around in all directions, scoping the area. You have no idea where you are. The only thing you can see is that you're in a room filled with garbage. Just refuse, unidentifiable, maybe carcasses, lots of bugs. You can't hear them, though. You can just see them. And a lot of brown brick with green sort of moss covered fungus along the walls. There's an exit to the south and to the north.
I would like to get up close to him to where I would like to try to touch what I would sense as my forehead to his forehead and yell into his face even though I don't have a mouth.
You think these thoughts, but you struggle with the knowledge that you don't have legs, you can't move, and you don't have a forehead. All you can do is see and think.
I will have a full-blown panic attack at this point.
Okay. The rock before you, Varel, with the eyeball sticking out of it, begins sort of moving a little bit. Just ever so slightly, like looking like it's trying to jump, making little ripples in the water.
Am I able to get out just out of my little lips, just a little wordage of energy?
Using a Herculean effort, you are able to get breath through. You're still breathing, and you're able to get breath through your lungs to form words with your mouth.
Friend Speck, we must rest.
And with that, you fall into a deep slumber. Gain the benefit of a long rest. Nash, you see Varel's eyes closed and he becomes very still. Is there anything you'd like to do for the next 8 hours as nothing but an eyeball?
Am I aware that I'm nothing but an eyeball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All you can kind of feel is that you have an eyeball and that you can think. But every time you have these phantom limb issues, but every time you go to do something, nothing happens. And when you look around, you can kind of see that your eyeball's coming out of a black rock of some kind.
Okay.
And there's no arms or legs or mouth or anything.
Do I have a sense of time passing like I would if I was in my normal Nash self? Or is it different?
Yeah. You have consciousness the way that you remember it.
Does my eye have eyelids? So if I closed them to rest also, could I?
Yes, you can blink, yes. And close them.
I will... How mobile am I? Can I float?
You don't feel like you can move right now.
Okay. I will think to myself, that I've gone mad and that my only hope is Varel, and he is currently fast asleep. So I'm going to close my eye and hope that close myself and hope that I can drift off somehow, or maybe wake up from this dream. That's my mentality. I'm going to close that eye and just hold it shut.
All right, you close that eye and, exhausted, fall asleep. Gain the benefit of a long rest.
Awesome.
You both sleep soundly and peacefully, without dreams, your body in full recovery mode. After a period of some time goes by, you don't know how long. Nash, Varel, you're still asleep, but Nash, you open your eye, and you see the situation is the same as before. Varel is sleeping in a pile of refuse. You're in some kind of brick room with brown, old, smelly brick, bugs, mosquitoes flying through the trash. 2 exits to the north and south. But you see a shadow coming from the south. And the shadow gets longer and longer. It's just the faintest of movement. And you realize you're looking at the silhouette of whatever's approaching. It stands about a foot high, and it's climbing very quietly and carefully over the refuse. And as it gets closer, you see that it's wearing a cloak, like the one that I'm kind of wearing. It's wearing a cloak covering its eyes, but you just see a little sort of jaw and furry kind of, I don't know what you would call it, just the jaw sort of jutting out, and a little nose. Furry little hands. And it sneaks over the pile of refuse and walks closer and closer to Varel, very quietly, very still. It then climbs up onto Varel's arm. And you see all this, Nash.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything?
Do I have any additional sense that I can do anything? More than I had before I got my shut eye?
It's difficult to know without finding the boundaries.
Okay. I will instinctively try to move toward it.
Okay, so you try to use your willpower to move towards it.
Yeah.
Make a... Find your sheet. It sounds like you weren't able to open your sheet, but I can get your sheet here.
Yeah, I have a... I'm getting a 500 error. I don't know what's going on over there. I've been refreshing it. But...
So let's make a wisdom check, please.
Okay. Can you remind me my plus on that?
Yeah, it's +1.
+1 on wisdom.
Just a vanilla wisdom check, please.
Can do. 18.
All right, you try to move towards the figure, and you feel vibration in the rock that your eye is jutting out of, and it scrapes under the water below. It scrapes along the concrete about a millimeter, but you feel that you've moved.
Okay.
And as you make that movement, the hooded creature on top of Varel's arm takes out a knife. And he sets the knife down on Varel's arm. Then he reaches back into his cloak and he ties a bib around his neck. And then he pulls out a fork and then he grabs the knife again and he goes shing, shing, shing with a bib on and with a knife and fork.
Like he's about to chow down.
Like he's about to eat Varel.
I will notice that I was able to get a little bit of wiggle, and I'll do it again and even harder this time. More focus, more concentration.
Right. Make another wisdom check, please.
Okay. 15 this time.
This time you begin to panic and move a little bit farther. And you make a scraping sound on the ground. And the figure stops. Looks left and looks right. And it looks up, and all you can do is see the snout. The snout goes. You can see the nose kind of going. I don't know if you can see me doing that, but his nose is going up and down. And then, satisfied there isn't anyone else there with it, it begins going shing, shing, and sticks the fork into the Varel's arm. And then puts the knife in, and looks like he's about ready to cut.
He's actually penetrated the lizard with his knife?
Not yet. It's just about to go in.
Okay.
What do you do?
I will scream no into the void with no mouth and make another valiant attempt to try to break free, not really knowing if this is going to do anything, but I'm going to try to break free.
Make a wisdom check, please.
Okay. 19.
All right. As if you were a dog on a leash who was pulling against the leash to try and break free, there's this snapping inside. And then you float up. And you're not sure what you look like floating up, but you feel from your vision that you're actually moving up through space.
Okay.
And you float to its eye level. And you've quiet, even though inside it's been a burning, raging fire. On the exterior, you're just quietly floating up, and it doesn't pay attention. And it sinks the knife in and begins going. Starts cutting.
And am I seeing visually that he's actually cutting?
You've had a long rest, Varel, but take 4 points of damage, please.
Oh, he is cutting. That answers that question.
But you float up to its eye level.
Okay.
Woo 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 woo.
do I I mean, internally I would be still sort of phantom limbing, trying to stop this. I'd be lunging for him, trying to get this thing off of him. That's about all I can do.
So you want to throw yourself at it?
Yeah.
All right. So you begin trying to figure out the process of moving through space, and you throw yourself at it. And then it notices sort of instinctively, it looks up and sees you and goes, "Eh!"
Okay.
And he quickly sidesteps out of the way, and he goes, "Eh!" And you fly into the pile of garbage. And now your vision is just filled with garbage. Vorel, you hear this scream, and it opens your eyes, and you look down, and you see a 1-foot being in a cloak with a snout sticking out, a knife and fork in his hand, and a bib standing on your arm, and just there's a pain in your arm. What you come to? Oh, you're muted, I believe.
Is it the time for sandwiches?
It jumps and it moves to run away. Do you do anything?
Friend, where am I?
All right. So because you didn't stop it, it runs, jumps from off your arm and runs into a pile of garbage. You notice the rock is no longer at your feet.
Spec? Can I sit up?
You feel that you can move your body again.
I will raise myself up to a sitting position.
All right. And as you raise yourself up, you see that you have a vague recollection of what happened previously, and you see that the room is what you think you were in when you first went under. Brown brick walls, gray slime, exits to the north and south, and many piles of garbage.
Stanley? Hope? Nash, my friends. It is time to celebrate?
I don't know. I make no sound, but I'm yelling back.
Okay. You hear in the pile of refuse beneath you a rustling.
I will turn around and investigate.
Okay. And you sort of dig through, and you take a look inside. You see that rock that landed, it's in the you've carved open many bodies of many prey before. Now in your more conscious state, having, things are sort of back to normal in your brain, you see that it is a heart made out of black rock, and there's an eyeball sticking out of it. And as you dig through the refuse, you see it in there sort of struggling to move around.
Oh, the cosmic speck. I'm glad you are well. You've grown an eye. How fare you?
I'm gonna blink just rapidly in response to that because I don't know what else to do.
Okay, the eye begins blinking very quickly.
Just like
You're overjoyed, I see. Excellent. Well, I will dub you Speckle, the Cosmic Speck, my friend for an eternity. Where are we? And I'll pick him up and put him under my arm and stand up.
Okay, you do this. The speckle doesn't seem to have a mouth organ for you to communicate with.
Well, seems up to me to decide where we are. We are in a trash pile. And the waiter was rude, I guess. All I could think of for an eternity was bean juice and sandwiches with my friends to celebrate. But Trash and you will have to make do, Speckle. Let's proceed. And I'll start walking south.
As you begin walking, you see movement to the left in the trash pile, and a little hood peers up with a little snout.
Trash waiter. E-I-E, some goblin. Come on out. Perhaps Draconic then. Bethune Lathin. No?
Common will work.
Common Blue Book.
Common will work.
I'm afraid I don't know that one.
Do you know the common language?
Oh, yes. Hello.
Do you have any food?
Then for the first time I will inspect my hat, my shoes,
You have nothing. And as you look down to inspect, you notice the Eye of Grosjean. It's the first time you've even thought about it since the incident. It's broken open like an egg. And it appears that whatever was inside has covered your scales like a membrane. And as you begin to move around, it's like shedding like molting skin for a snake. You begin sort of noticing that you're kind of molting in this disgusting way. You no longer hear or feel the presence of Grosjean in your chest. Whatever is in your chest is dead, and you know that it saved you.
Noble Grosjean.
It broke open and covered your body with some sort of membrane.
Then I am truly alone. Except for you, Blue Book. Where are we?
I'm not Blue Book. My name is Java.
Java.
Java the Carver.
I enjoy a good Java.
Jarvar.
Jarvar, excuse me. I am Varel Rasvim Kurik, and this is Speckle, the cosmic asteroid.
He looks expensive.
Perhaps. I found him in space.
Does it belongs to you?
Yes.
Do you have any food?
I'm afraid not.
I have not eaten in 3 days. I'm quite hungry.
Perhaps we can find food together.
He steps out from his trash pile. You notice that he's wearing his hood, and he moves his hood back, and you see that it's a rat man, about a foot tall. It's a rat that's standing upright. His little claws, little rat face. And he goes back to where you were sitting and he picks up his knife and fork and he takes off his bib. I don't work for free.
Oh. Well, and I'll pick up Speckle and hold it to its eye to my eye level. Speckle, are your generations infinite? Could I perhaps bargain with you for an eyeball, which you would regrow at a later time?
Ooh, eyeball.
I struggle to reply.
Give Speckle eyeball. Or Speckle, give Java the eyeball.
What say you, Speckle?
Little rat teeth pick out.
Ah. Well, it seems Speckle hasn't grown a mouth yet. But when he does, we will ask him if he can spare an eyeball.
Okay. Where do you got your food?
I have none. I'm hungry as well.
Wait, I thought you were going to share food with me. You said, let's go get food together.
Yes. So together, we shall proceed south?
Do you
or
know
north?
where there's food?
No. It's my first time here.
You're a tall one. You're not from
Yes.
the up?
Perhaps.
Do you have a home?
I do.
You must have food in your home. Let us go to it.
Very well.
What part of town do you live in?
This is a town.
What part?
Tiatkala?
Never heard of Notiat Kalaha?
And I've never heard of your town.
What? But you live in the town. You've heard of this town. I mean, it's more like a city.
Oh, a city, is it? And what city is this?
You talk funny.
So do you, my new friend.
He sort of looks at you mistrustfully, says, I don't do anything for you unless you pay me.
Well, I have no payment to give.
Little rat man brings up his hand, scratches his little under his eyes, like, you give me shinies. You have shinies?
The shiny here. The speckle.
No,
Is mine.
No speckle. Give me your shiny. And he walks up to you very slowly and gently so as not to provoke you. And then he puts his little claws onto one of your scales. 20.
20 scales, ripped from my flesh.
You give Java 20 scales. Then maybe I'll help you. We find food together.
Right. I'm afraid I must be going.
You hear that? You hear it?
Yes.
Me too.
And?
And he takes off down the north hall.
Well, Speckle. Do we follow him? Perhaps be feasted upon by ratmen? Or do we head south? Where I originally planned to go.
Speckle shakes around. Doesn't make any sound. A lot of blinking.
Perhaps this, Speckle. 1 blink for north, and 2 for south. You know numbers.
I will attempt to nod my ball.
Okay, so does that mean you look up and down,
Yeah,
up and down, up and down?
Yeah, I want to do like this.
The eyeball does not do
Or
as
just
you ask, as
rotate.
it looks up and looks down and looks up and looks down.
Okay, just the pupil moves, not the whole ball.
No, not the whole ball. But remember, you now can float. Sorry, I don't know if I made that clear when you moved up to go hit the thing. It's possible for you to float and to
Okay.
move around floating.
Then I'm going to.
You're currently in Vorel's hand, but he's not holding you very hard or anything.
I'm gonna. Sorry, table talk. Did you say blink twice for south?
I don't rightfully remember.
I don't remember either.
Me neither. So let's say blink twice for south,
Okay.
once for north.
Then I will blink twice for south, and then I will try to apply pressure to show that I'm trying to make a movement out of his hand, so that I can. I want to actually go a little south and then turn around, blink twice again, and then turn around south again, so he knows I mean south.
Okay, you get your answer from Nash.
Cool. If I feel him, pulling at me, I'll let go and let the ball do its business.
All right. So the dragon metal heart floats before you, one eyeball coming out of one of the little pipes in it, and it begins floating south.
I'll turn around after a few feet, look at him, blink twice again, and then turn around and float south.
All right.
Vorel,
I'll
what do you do?
follow south.
As you follow south, you hear coming from the north door. Food! Food here! This way! You help! Help me.
Can I hear this being said?
Yes.
Okay.
It's being whispered, but it's quiet down here, so you can hear it echo, into this chamber.
I mean, my eyeball has hearing. I guess is what I'm
You
saying.
can feel the vibrations of sound. It's
Okay.
muted, like, you're underwater hearing sound,
Okay.
but you can hear it.
Yeah.
But no, there's no ear sticking out of any of these pipes yet.
Do I feel hunger?
Oh yeah, your body is voracious at this point.
All right. Speckle, you have no stomach. I must eat. Java Blue Book, I'm on my way.
Java!
Java.
Java Blue Book. I love it.
Hurry! Come! All right, so you turn around and begin following Nash. You're going to follow Vorel to the north door?
Yeah, I'll follow him.
All right. So Vorel, as you make your way down this passage, it's dark and hard to see, but you hear the of Jarver, and you make your way to a T junction up ahead from this area, and you see that in the passage goes straight, but then there's a left in the T junction, and that there's a pile of refuse. Now this T junction actually opens up into a larger sewage chamber. And then as you get closer, you begin to hear voices. You can't really make out what they're saying. They're a little on the high-pitched side, but you hear voices coming from the left T-junction. Now, Jarver, the little rat man, is sitting in the pile of refuse with his hood over his eyes, peering out to the left. He looks at you, goes, "Shh." Motions for you to come, but he goes, "Come here."
All right, I'll move quietly.
All right, let's make a stealth roll, please.
22.
You are very quiet. You make your place next to Jarver on the refuse pile. Scott, you don't need to make a stealth roll in this case because your floating is absolutely silent.
Okay.
So behind you, the dragon metal heart with an eyeball sticking out of it floats behind you. Speckle floats behind you. Vorel, and you peer over. And before you, you see in the distance, maybe about 100 feet out. It's far enough away. It's a long sort of run to cover. but you see there are 4 little humanoids, maybe about 3 feet tall, and 2 of them appear to have cleared off this area where there's a trash pile and picked up what appears to be some kind of body by the shoulders and feet in the water, and are walking towards this concrete slab that's floating in the middle of the chamber. The two of those little folk, who they appear to be wearing some sort of helmets, and they have these like goggles on and like a scarf over their mouth. You can't see their faces. This looks like protective gear that a weak fleshling might wear in a hazardous environment. They take this body and they move over to the concrete slab, and then there's another one of these little guys next to the slab who's got 2 joysticks, and then there's this claw, like a claw machine, and the claw moves out and grabs the body and lifts it up, and then moves to the left and then drops it gently onto the slab. And then you hear a voice come out. Okay, Buff. Let's see where this is destined for. Okay, I'll have a look. And then one of the short little men move, and you see sort of this apparatus extend from its goggles. It moves out. There's kind of like this crystal, and then there's like 4 or 5 different lenses, and then a little beam of light shoots from his eyes and onto this body's neck. And you hear, "Oh my God! You won't believe it! We've hit Peter, boys!" And Jarver looks at you. He says, "Do you think you could take them? Right?
What is their dirty pay?
These are corpse collectors for names in the dead book. They're here to make a penny off any corpses found down here. But we can chase them off, and then we can eat the bodies. They don't look very old." What say you?
I'll listen to the corpse collectors and see if they reveal more information.
Perception roll, please.
13. Wait, 16.
All right, so you tell Jarver you're going to listen for a little while longer. And then the one that's looking at the bodies turns around and says, "You'll never believe this. We've hit pay dirt, boys. Look at this. Look at this." And he sort of takes off a piece of his helmet. You see a pink, fleshy little set of eyes in there, and he hands it over to his companion. He goes, what are you seeing there? And he looks in, he goes, "Holy. Wow. Have you ever seen one of these before?" "No. It looks as though it's destined for the weir. We're going to hit big pay dirt with this." They found another one. Just over here. Bring the slab over.
All right, while they
There's 2 of them.
while they maneuver for the second body, I would like to sneak closer, ideally as close as I can, depending on the refuse in the room.
All right, so there isn't a way to really sneak behind anything, but the room is dark, but you would be exposed making your way up into the room to get into a pile of trash that's kind of away from them. You can choose to hide on the right side or the left side. They're more on the right side.
I'll go for that right side.
Okay, make a stealth check, please.
Do I still have my prismatic scales,
You do.
or am I injured?
No, you test them out, and your prismatic scales appear to work.
Cool. As I run through the light, I will attempt to, go brighter to match the color change and go darker once I exit the light.
All right, I believe that gives you advantage on your stealth roll when you use it for this purpose.
Correct. I got a 14.
Okay. All right. You're about to make your way out, and Jarvis says, "Hey, we should talk about this." But you move anyways without consulting him. As you make your way to the right, you move a little too quickly, and you make a little splish in the water. And then the four heads begin to turn around, and just as they turn around to look, you jump into a pile of refuse really quietly, just like whew, in that lizard folk way. But you hear, "Did you hear that? Why don't you go check it out, Boff?" "All right, I'll go check it out." "All right, boys, get this one up. I think we can hold two on the slab." All right, and they begin moving towards the second body, and Boff the halfling makes his way towards lifting up his visor so he can look with his normal eyes, and he's peering around. Let's have another stealth contest.
16.
"Is anything there?" As the little halfling gets closer, you notice that he's dressed in kind of like robes. They're closed, but it's definitely designed to be heavy and to be sort of thick for this environment. He's got a pair of goggles and a helmet and a scarf over his mouth. And there's this kind of stick that he's holding. Looks like a fishing spear, but the tip looks very strange and not like it's for piercing. You can't tell what it's for. It's kind of got these two prongs like this, but they're not sharp. "If anything's there, you better show yourself."
Is he in grabbing range?
Yeah, he's looking through the refuse just to see what he can see. He's in grabbing range.
All right, I'd like to Indiana Jones Nazi over a box.
Wait, what is that?
Like, like pop up, grab him, pull him behind. I don't care if he screams because that's part of the atmosphere I'm building.
Okay.
Just, I want to make him disappear real quick, non-lethal damage, knock him out if I can.
All right, grapple contest, please.
19.
Actually, he makes his with disadvantage because he doesn't know you're there. All right, you grab him. Tell me what exactly you do with him. This will succeed, so tell me what happens.
All right, so he's sitting there and all Arnold Schwarzenegger in the mud.
He's facing you. He's looking in your pile.
Awesome. I open my eyes, grab him up, and just with a spin, slam him into the trash.
Okay, you bring him inside with you.
And if he is... So I got him in the grapple, and I'll make my second attack as a attack on him.
Okay, so are you intending to try and keep him quiet, or do you want him to scream out? Like, do you make any action to prevent this or not? As part of the thing.
No, it's the grab is to put him face first into the trash pile, and the attack I'm doing would be a punch to the back of the head.
Gotcha. Make your attack roll with advantage.
All right, unarmed attack. It is a 22.
All right, roll your damage dice. Non-lethal, you said?
Correct. That'll be 8 points of damage.
Okay, perfect. So you smack him in the back of the neck into the ground. You grab him in, he struggles. You go, whoosh, and his body stops moving.
All right. I would like to... Now realizing that I put him in face first, I'd like to grab the back of his head and pull him back to see if his specs are still intact.
Okay, you pull him back, and you see they weren't on his face, so you didn't smash them into the ground along with his face. So
Sweet.
They're still intact. Yeah.
All right, I will peel those off and then put them on and peer over the top of my trash pile.
Okay. So you try to put them on, and they fit awkwardly. Remember, your eyes are a little bit on the side, so you kind of have to stretch them so they are on either side. And they provide you with dark vision. So as you peer up again to take a look around, you can more clearly see the room. You don't see anything new that I didn't describe to you before, but you can see them with precise detail.
Cool. I will.
And because you're closer, you have a look on the slab, and you see Hope without without her metal arm or without her metal leg, lying on the slab, unmoving.
Jeez.
I will, like a hairband, put the glasses on the top of my head and then twist them sideways so one eye is constantly dark visioned.
Okay.
So I can wear them.
Okay.
And I will lower myself back down and prepare to round the corner. I want to take a peek and see where the other three left, right, or two?
There are 3 left.
Okay. Are they over in whatever pay dirt they found in the other place?
Two of them are picking up. They're beginning to lift up another body and start dragging it towards it. And you notice that it's Stanley. You see Stanley's distinct looking hair and ears, and it's just his face, unmoving, cold, sort of falls to the side.
All right.
And the other one's got the joysticks on the concrete slab.
So there's one controlling the slab.
Yeah. As you do that, you feel a little movement behind you, and you see, you sort of look around underneath the pile of trash. You see Jarver's face poke through, and he goes, "Nice moves."
Thank you, Jarver. This one's yours if you wish.
Oh. Not yet. Still some left.
I would like to charge the one who's operating the platform.
Okay, so you're gonna run out of the trash pile and just charge at him. You've still got you've got about 80 feet to clear to get any further.
Oh, okay. So there's quite a bit of space.
You can run to him in a turn, but that will use your action, right?
Cool. I'd like to get within the 40 feet then, sneaking.
Oh, you like to try?
Is there water
up?
here as well? How deep's the water?
Like an inch or two of water, but there's a little water here.
Okay.
So you would
So
try
I can't
you
log
want
it
to
on over.
No, do you want to try and sneak as far as you can before initiating combat so you can get as close as possible? All right, stealth roll. Ash, is there anything you want to do in the middle of all this?
I was curious where I'm at during all of
You're
this.
still back in the T junction.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for the all clear. I'll continue to do that.
Woo, 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 woo.
18 on stealth.
Yeah. 18 on stealth. Okay, so I've got to roll some. Okay, so you exit the refuse and begin creeping, with your scale. Did you roll with advantage? You have your scales to shield you. Okay. You begin sneaking closer, and you close the 40 feet. But as you reach the 40 feet, you see, you hear one of the little halfling men go, "Hey, how are you?" And one of them, carrying the body sort of facing your direction, notices, and then the other 2 halflings go, "What?" What do you do?
Enter my rage and charge.
All right, initiative roll, please.
Oh wow.
12.
Okay. Let's see. All right, I'm making initiative rolls. Nash, why don't you give me an initiative roll too, please?
Oh, okay. I guess I could act in this. That will be a 1. My initiative rolls suck.
At least you still get a roll. Or turn, I mean.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. And his eyeball, what do I do? But
okay. And perfect. All right. All right, so combat begins. The halflings immediately drop Stanley's body onto the water, goes splish. And the halfling with his goggles on and like sort of this crystal in front of him and these extended sort of lenses, he panics, reaches into this sort of drawer on the concrete slab and pulls out this, what looks to be some sort of stick with this weird thing on the end. And he holds it in front of you and he goes, "Ah!" And electricity fires out at you. Need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
A 10.
Okay. It shocks you, and you are stunned for a round. He goes, and he goes, you go, man, as electricity lights you up, and you're sort of standing in the water, and the electricity also shoots out and stuns all the other halflings as well. They're all like, yeah! So everyone standing in the water is being electrocuted currently. But you are stunned for the round. I have to make saving throws for them to see who. All right, one of them isn't. Biff is the one that shot you is not stunned, but the other two who are holding the body do get stunned. Now, as he does that to you, you see a little figure run beside you and run behind one of the one that noticed you, and you just see that you see Jarver, little rat, climb onto the back of this halfling and just bring his knife to the throat of that halfling and go, and then just blood goes, begins spraying out of his throat, and the halfling falls to the ground. The other one has to make a saving throw because he's stunned, and he saves, and he's no longer stunned. Now it is your turn. You can't do anything because you're stunned, so I need you to make your saving throw at the end of your round, please. Oh no, I said it was for a turn, so you are actually free. You're free and clear now. There's another one. Oh, and Nash, it is your turn.
Can I see the action from where I am? And do I also have?
Yeah.
Do I have
sort of float above the refuse, and you look, and you see Varel is being electrocuted. You see two halflings being electrocuted. You see the rat man cut one of their necks open, and that halfling falls to the ground. And there's a guy on the concrete floating slab who just electrocuted Varel. And you see the body of Stanley in the water and the corpse of Hope on the slab.
Okay. And do I also have any enhanced vision or anything with this eye?
No, you've got Nash vision. Sorry, buddy.
Ah, shit. That's bad vision. All right. I will rise up to see the action and then hold there because I have no other options that I know of. Actually, you know what? I would like to just my tendency or my desire, even in this form, is still a lot of phantom limb stuff. So I'm going to want to cast something. Okay. And it would be fireball or something because that's a nice long range.
Firebolt?
Bolt, rather. I keep saying ball. Bolt.
It's okay. It's fun. It's part of the enjoyment of this show. You come to There Will Be Dungeons. You come for the fireball, but you only get fireball.
Yeah, you and the cat, me and the fireball. I don't know what my deal is. Anyway, so 120 feet range on that thing. I would like to try to, in my head, I will do what I would normally do to try to cast it. And then you tell me if that does anything.
Okay, so you try to do what you normally do to cast it, which requires verbal and somatic components. So you attempt to say something, but your voice echoes in your thoughts, but doesn't manifest in reality. And so nothing happens.
All right. I will be super disappointed. I will hang my phantom head in shame and then end my turn.
You can move it somewhere. You can also... You did learn that you can ram people.
Oh.
You tried to ram the rat. You missed.
Do I have a sense that would be a good force, like forceful ramming? Like, do any good?
It's just an option that's available to you. You haven't done it successfully yet, so you don't know what the potential is. But the DM is telling you it's a move.
Since we don't have a map, is there anybody who's facing Varel right now that I am within range? I assume standard movement still applies here.
There's a lot of distance to clear, so you can put yourself positioned for a ram next turn.
Okay,
fly out into the battle.
I would like to do that. I'd like to move my whatever my standard.
Right, so you try to cast a spell, and to an onlooker, it would just look like, you know, when you sneeze, but it stays inside and doesn't come out. That's kind of what it looks like. It's like, and then you begin floating very aggressively with high speed towards combat. All right. The one that shocked you, Varel, attempts to shock you again. He goes, no, this is horrifying! And he shoots out. I need you to make your saving throw.
18.
All right, so this time the electricity hits you, and you're able to just fight through it without it affecting you. The rat man then, after having sliced the throat of one halfling, crawls up to the other halfling that's next to that one and attempts to slice its throat. However, this halfling, out of the corner of his eye, has seen something's happened, and he grabs the knife and sort of grabs the rat and throws him into the water. then that one takes out what appears to be some hand axe of his own that's attached to his hip, and then tries to cut the rat into two. And he brings it down and does damage to it. You see the rat like, he dodges out of the way but gets sliced with it. Varel, it is your turn.
All right. I would like to recklessly attack the one that stunned me.
Okay, you close the distance using your movement and attack.
With a
And
big, meaty
He's about
fist.
3 feet high, so you look way down and see him.
Yeah, so like wind on the water as my fist swings around on this little guy with a 27.
Okay, wow, that is a hit.
That's a better be
The hit deals 8 points of damage.
Okay, and so as you punch it, the punch, you hear bones inside crack. Just like if you take a Rice Krispie square and just smash it with a hammer, you just like, and then he flies up into the air, hits the wall, and then slides down the wall and falls to the ground face first, and is unconscious into a pile of refuse.
Quick side note: I think that Canadian Rice Krispie squares must be terrible and shitty because if yours shatter like that, that is bad. They're supposed to be mushy. And
Maybe
moist.
not a square. Maybe just a pile of Rice Krispies.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
Maybe they're stale from the cold.
Hey, back to the game. Stop talking about Canada.
All right, no more Canada.
All right, so you've punched him, and was that a non-lethal punch or lethal punch?
Yeah, well, it was non-lethal, but the force sounds like it ended up going a little too far. I'm enraged, so
You can break
I'm doing my
bones
best.
without killing somebody, right? So,
cool. Yeah, it's non-lethal for what it is.
all right, it's non-lethal. You punch him in. All right, perfect. And Nash, it is your turn.
Okay.
There's only one halfling left up, and it's the one that's facing Jarver, who's on the ground, sort of dodging axe blows.
And his back is to me.
Yeah.
I'll do one of your ram. I'm going to do a ram job.
Okay. So you... a ram job, eh?
Raising. Yeah, not good.
All right. You fly full speed using your dash action, trying to assault it with your very form. Roll an attack roll.
Okay. Do I get any of my normal bonus? I don't, probably. Right?
I would give you proficiency since this is your body, so you can add +4. That's about it.
Okay, that's fine. 17.
All right. Now roll a d6
Okay.
and add. No, you can't add anything to it. Roll a d6.
Just a
for damage.
D6? Okay. 2.
All right. You knock it in the back, but you knock it square in the back. That he stumbles down onto, he loses balance, drops his axe, and stumbles down onto his knees, and he goes, "Aye!"
All right.
As you hit him in the back. As you hit him in the back, Jarver finds his opportunity, looks up with his blade, and tries to swing and misses. And he thought he'd have it, but he didn't have it. Varel, it is your turn.
All right, I would like to grapple the remaining one.
Okay. Grapple contest, please. Versus its dexterity.
25.
You do it. Where do you grab him?
All right, he was on his knees, so I'll just sort of scoop him up with one arm around the neck and kind of lift him up so he's hovering
It's
a
a
couple
halfling.
feet. in
He
the
weighs
air.
like nothing. He's like 50 pounds or something like that. Like he's light. Like, yeah. Like picking up a
Cool,
dog.
and I'll grab my other hand. With my other hand, I'll grab the back of his head, kind of forcing it in on the arm. Not to knock him out, but just, we're there. I can do this.
You go, you
And
hear.
Silence, dirt giver.
The voice silences immediately and goes limp.
And while holding it, I'll spin around and be like, Spec, you okay?
And I'll blink once. One blink. He knows that
South.
means yes.
I don't remember. We haven't established what's yes.
Oh,
I believe
yeah, we
you're
didn't,
fine.
did we?
Jarver.
I can't nod, right, Bo? You said I can float, but I can't nod.
Well, you can move. You're floating. You can float, but you can move your float this way. Like
All
you
right,
can-
that's what
is
I'm
that,
going to do.
yaw?
I'm going to do this to nod to you. I've got axes in that direction.
Well done, Speckle. Jarver, are you well?
Yeah. I'm okay. And they didn't get me. Thank you. I think I was using a halfling voice there, but I was supposed to be using my rat voice. You're quite the basher.
Yes.
Hmm.
Now you, and I'll angle my head around to look in his face. Where are we? Short words, and I'll roll my arm down so his mouth is free.
Okay, is this just a vanilla ask, or you want to use a skill roll involved with this?
Just a vanilla.
Ah, is this a trick question?
No.
He flinches like he's gonna get hit.
No pain will come to you.
We found it first.
I see. Where are we?
You're not allowed to do this. Finders keepers is the rules.
I've heard of this. Losers are weepers. Do not quote me such lies.
No losers weepers rule. No, please don't hurt me.
Where
But we
are
found
we?
it first. You're in the lower depths. Where do you think we are?
The basement of the world. Where are we?
I don't understand. What are you asking?
And I will take a quick moment to realize that Stanley may have fell on his face into the water. I look at Stanley.
Stanley's lying face up, the corpse.
Oh, okay. As long as he's floating, get back to business.
Yeah. I mean, his body's unmoving. It's a little bit bloated. It's blue. It's dead.
Are you looking to make a new friend today? Small one?
Are you referring to Jarver?
No, the guy I'm holding.
Friends?
Trains?
I'm not quite sure what you're asking me.
I am king wherever I go. I am now king of this filth. Do you wish to follow me or die?
King of the filth.
I don't think you. Wait. What? Where? Who are you with?
I'm with Speckle and Jarver.
Oh, what
And these two bodies
faction
here.
are you with?
Heroes of the Waste?
What shit are you with?
And looks. He says, "No, that's not a faction."
Fang of Razakval.
You're not some kind of barmies, are you?
Barmies.
Yes. Touched.
I've been touched before.
Where do you live? Who are you? Who are you with?
I live in Tietkala. I'm answering more questions than you.
Did you recently go on some kind of travel?
Oh, yes. A long travel.
Looks. So you don't know where you are?
I have made that clear.
You must be some kind of. You're new.
Fresh in the area.
Well, listen. I don't give out information for free. If you want to know where you are, you have to pay.
I'm paying with your life, small one. This deal is growing too complicated for my poor lizard brains. I'm being overcome by my animal senses.
He looks over at the floating metal heart with an eye in it. And he looks over at the rat man with a knife who's eating out of the neck of his halfling friend, and he goes, "Okay, wait, I'm sure we can come to some kind of deal, just that we have to make it formal."
My soul is not for sale.
Well, that's good. I don't want your soul. How about you let me have these two and turn them in for their reward, and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
See, I'm afraid that these two are with me as well. Heroes of the Waste and all, they're coming with me.
They're in the... How about half?
Half of what?
A finder's fee. We found them.
He thought he meant
Half of hope is already gone.
No, half the reward. Yeah, Adelkov.
What? Is that some sort of insult? Speckle, perhaps some sort of combo attack is in order, and I'll turn towards him and encourage Speckle to hit him stomach.
Perhaps some sort of combo attack is in order. Can you roll an intimidation roll, please?
15.
Okay. He goes, right, okay. At least 40%. 30.
There's no percent. Nothing is... All these things are mine.
Do you not understand that it's difficult for me to feel incentivized to give you information if I get nothing out of it?
Your life.
Well, my life is no good without money to live on.
That is a very true statement, and I feel for you. But
10%.
you turn in a foot to your master?
There's... No. These corpses here are wanted to be transported to where they belong. We provide services by collecting corpses and the people in the dead book and sending them to where they're supposed to go. We'll turn them into the dustmen, and they'll take care of the rest and give us money for it. You can take the larger portion, and I'll get some for myself. Just don't kill me, please.
I'm going to go, which is Nash eyeball for, just kill him. We'll take everything ourselves.
Speckle, I can't understand you, but your emotions ring clear. I do not know where we are. That is why I still restrict this man.
Why don't you kill him? Jarvis says, and then I'll tell you about this place. For his coin instead.
There's no coin. I want a way out.
We turn in the those of your friends in the dead book, and you can give me some of the money, and I'll get you set up here. It would be like an investment. No, I'll whatever his deal is, I'll double it.
No, that would mean you get paid more.
Well, I want to know. I mean, I'd take more of a discount than him. He's a rat. You can't trust rats. They sneak into people's houses and steal their stuff.
Speckle, I grow weary and confused. My friends are my primary reason for being here. I do not want them turned in.
Oh, these are your friends. How did they end up this way?
We rode a great laser into space.
Go on.
And I flew around for an eternity before ending up in a trash heap, which is why I am angry, hungry, and confused.
Oh, listen. Can you show me where that trash heap is that you fell into?
Yes.
Are you hungry? I have sandwiches in my backpack. Go ahead and take them.
I am hungry.
I'll give you a sandwich. I think we can come to an arrangement. You And I won't take any of the bodies. I just need you to show me where you landed.
And I'll look at Jarver.
Jarver looks and he goes. He just kind of shrugs his shoulders. He goes back to his halfling and he sort of pulls out, takes his knife in and starts cutting off a little square chunk of the halfling's neck. And then puts his fork in and eats it. And he goes, whatever you want to do, suit yourself.
Long as everyone gets fed, eh? Very well. Creature, let us move.
Wait, am I the creature? Or is the creature the creature? I mean, the rat.
You're all creatures. We're all creatures, one and all.
I mean, rules as written, yeah.
All right, I will start to lower him down.
Okay, you lower him down, and then he brushes himself off. You want that sandwich? And he goes into his backpack, and he pulls out, he's got like 3 wax paper sandwiches, and he takes one out, opens it up, and hands it to you. He goes, here, look! It's ham!
I will take the sandwich.
Okay. You take the sandwich, and it's sort of 2 loaves of bread with pieces of ham and some sort of white-looking spread in there, and some lettuce, some leafy greens, some leafy reds.
I will have at it.
All right, you take a bite, and it tastes like a delicious sandwich in your body. You can feel your body as it goes down your throat, absorb the nutrients as rapidly as possible to deliver proteins and carbohydrates as quickly as it can to where it's needed.
Oh, small creature. You are destined for great sandwiches.
I'm glad you like it. My wife... what's his wife's name? My wife, Love. She made it. I saw John
Love.
Winston Payne when I said her name. That's pretty funny. Yes, Love. It's like love,
Tell
but
me-
without the E.
Oh, loaf sandwiches well.
Excuse me. And he takes out one of his sandwiches and he takes the wax paper off and he also begins to eat it. He goes,
You surprise me.
huh? Why is that?
My new companion is feasting on your friend, and you eat a sandwich over his body.
Well, we were working professionals. We know the dangers when we signed up. I'm just trying to get out of here alive. And hopefully with some coin in my pocket, as well as some coin in your pocket. Gotta think a little pragmatically.
A good trait to have.
I think instead of reacting very hostile towards you, we should have reacted much more friendly. And said, oh, who is that great lizard man over there? But we made a mistake. But now you're going
Compliments.
to show me where you landed.
Yes, compliments and sandwiches have done you well. Your device here, can it transport my friends?
You want that? That's expensive.
Not to keep. For a time, though. Call it
Okay.
collateral for your exchange.
Okay. Can I know your name, sir?
I am Varel Rasvim Kurik, Fang of Razakval.
Oh. Well, I am Binch.
Binch?
It is a pleasure, Binch.
It's nice to meet you too. Binch Lowry. Lowry's my last name. Sorry. I had to look up the last name. Sorry, I had to look up the last name. I said it in the wrong voice. Binch
I
Lowry,
overwhelmed
at
you.
your service.
Binch Lowry, let us proceed to my landing spot.
I'm with the Collectors League.
Congratulations.
Would you like to show me where you landed?
Very much. But first, and then I will go pick up Stanley and load him on the platform with Hope.
Okay. So you pick up Stanley and you walk him over, and the slab is is exactly how you'd imagine it when I describe. It's a concrete slab that floats maybe 2 feet off the surface of the water, has a little push handle, has a metal claw on it, has like a tool sort of area where you can drop things into that holds on the driver's side, as well as the joysticks to operate the claw.
And the seat or controls are for halfling.
Yeah, it's very low, but you're able to probably reach down and push it with the handle at the very least.
Yeah, I just want to use it like a grocery cart.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. With my 2 friends loaded up, I will head back down the way I came and proceed with Bish.
All right. And Jarver looks up at you and he says, I think I'll be moving on now. Looks like you've made the arrangements you've wanted. Thanks again, mate, for all the help. If you're ever looking for someone to help you with some work, you can come to the Grinning Imp and ask for Java the Carver.
Jarver the Carver, the Grinning Imp.
Yes, thank you. Safe travels, Planar. Oh, sorry. Yeah. He didn't say that. He said, never mind. Forget he said that. I might have misused a thing. All right. So you walk, you head back. I think planar would have been an incorrect term to use. You walk back towards the way that you came, pushing the cart, and with Binch in tow, moving back to the place you came. And with that, we're going to take our halfway break. If everyone's good there,
Yeah.
I need 5 minutes.
Yeah, no worries.
Sound
Perfect time
good?
for it. Yeah, perfect time.
All
Chat room will be back. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. There's much more to come. Stay tuned.